Good morning everyone. Hope you all are doing well there. In the previous video, we have studied these topics like structure of a Python program, variables and data types. Third one was keywords and mutable and immutable types. And the last topic was operators and operands. Hope you have noted down the notes in your fair notebook for future references and the programs what I have given you as a assignment. Hope you all are executing the programs online. I have already provided you the link of online interpreter. So today we are going to cover these two topics. First one is typecasting and the second one is looping construct. uh, I hope many of you are already familiar with this looping constructs. So let's start the topic today. The first topic, what I'm taking it as typecasting. Typecasting has two parts. First one is implicit and second one is explicit. So before explaining these two topics, let's directly jump to the program so that you will get to know what actually given in the theory part. So here is the program 1. You can see in this program I have taken this variable num1 and I am writing it here int. Next input is a function which is used to ask number from the user end. In this next line I have taken another variable which is num2. Again I am writing integer. So what is the use of writing integer here? It will be easy if we will execute these program in our Python interpreter. So I have this program written here. So let's see, num1 is a variable and num2 is another variable here. So I'm writing int here in front of input statement. Let's check the output first. So it is asking me to enter any number. I'm writing it as 5. Second number I'm writing as 55. The final result is 60. So which is working very fine. Let's see if we will remove this int from here. So what will be the output now? Let's check it out. I'm writing 55 again and 55 again. Let's see. So now you can see the output is not 110, it is actually 55 or 5555. So why this interpreter is doing such kind of thing when we are not writing int here? Actually when I'm not writing int here, this num is actually working as a character. As I have already told you in class 11, the by default data type of Python is character or string, you can say. So if you are not telling the interpreter to convert the number which is coming from the user end, by default this num will be of type character. Whereas if I'm writing here int, it means I'm forcefully converting that input which is coming from the user end into the integer. Let's see it again. Now user is going to enter the first number. Suppose I'm entering 12 here. Another number is 23. The output is 35. So when we are writing integer in front of this input function, it means interpreter will get to know that the number which is coming from the user end has to be converted into integer. That is called, that this concept is known as typecasting. Typecasting is of two types. In this program we have seen the explicit type of typecasting. The another category of typecasting is implicit. Let's come back to the program. In this program I have taken one variable num1 has a value of 10, whereas num2 has a value of 55.25. Let's see the output in the interpreter implicit programming. So num1 has a value as 123, whereas num2 has a value as 123.23. Let's just execute this. You can see the result is 246.23000002. It means if you are not telling the interpreter to convert the number in any of the form, whether it is integer or float, now in this scenario interpreter is going to use some built-in function of Python libraries to understand the concept. Here if you can see, num1 has an integer value, that is 123, whereas num2 has a float value or decimal value, which is 123.223. In the result, if we are going to add integer with a float, it is showing the output as float 246.23. It means here the interpreter or compiler is basically using their own function, their own mind to produce the final output. Let's see the theory part of this concept now. Hope these two programs are clear to you guys. So first thing is given as type conversion is the conversion of object from one data type to another data type. Type conversion is the conversion of object. Object means data type from one family to another family if it is required. Implicit type conversion is automatically performed by the Python interpreter. As in the second program I just told you, the Python interpreter will use their own functions which is already defined in the library. The third line is Python avoids the loss of data in implicit type conversion. Python ensure that the data what we are using, because programming is all about the data, so our data should not go anywhere. So Python avoids the loss of data by using the implicit type of conversion. Explicit type conversion is also called typecasting. So this conversion concept is also called typecasting. The data types of objects are converted using predefined function by the user. So in the first category, in the second category, explicit function, we use this int here, and input function में जो भी number आएगा will be converted into integer. So this thing is given here. Explicit type conversion is also called typecasting. The data types of objects are converted using predefined function by the user. Whether it is explicit or implicit, some predefined functions are given. But when a user is using some predefined function, this category is known as explicit. In typecasting, loss of data may occur as we enforce the object to a specific data type. Because see, it happens, we are not sure which kind of typecasting we are going to use or whether it will work properly or not. So when we are using explicit type, it means when a user wants to convert the data, there are some chances whether the data will be lost. So these were the two programs we have discussed so far. Let's move to the next topic, which is looping constructs. So looping constructs are basically like you can say loop statements or iteration statements. Why do we use loop in our programming? So as we have already discussed in class 11th, and I have told you with some of the basic examples. So loop is something which is used to represent something like in a repeating manner. It means if you have a need to repeat something again and again or up to a given limit, we have to use loop in our programming. Sometimes we need such kind of things when there is no need to write one statement again and again to get the final output. So in such a scenario we use loop. So first category is given as while loop. Here you can see the syntax while, and then we have to write condition. Next, statements block, else statements block 2. It means this syntax will be used when we are using while loop in our programming. I have written one example here. You can see a loop to print numbers from 1 to 10. Suppose I'm giving I as a initial value as 1, while I is less than 10, less than and equals to 10. Print I is equals to I plus 1. Let's see how does it actually work. So I'm just copying this code to execute in interpreter. Missing parenthesis in call to print. Did you mean print I? Something is wrong there. Okay. Now you can see the output. It is as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the while loop is there. It actually works like I have the initial value as 1. It means I is going to start from 1. While I is less than or equals to 10, it means this loop will only work till the time I has a value lesser than or equals to 10. It means suppose I has a value 1 and I, like we are in loop, so 1 is less than or equals to 10, yes, so it is going to print the value of I, which is 1. Now 1 is there. Next statement is I is equals to I plus 1. It means the value of I has been incremented by 1 now. It means I has a value 2 now. It will go up now. Now 2 is less than or equals to 10, yes, so it is going to print 2, and it will come to the next statement, which is I is equals to I plus 1 again. So now I will become 3. This scenario will go up to the 10. So once I has a value as 10, it will come down and will increment the value of I as 10 is I is equals to I plus 1, which means 11. So now this statement will go back to while. So if you have to check 11 is less than or equals to 10, no, it means the loop will terminate from here. So it will print the number from 1 to 10. This is how our while loop work, for loop. So hope you all are familiar with this for loop, because we have used this loop so many times in our previous programs. So syntax of for loop is given as for target list in expression list statement block else statement block 2. Here is one example. For I in range 1, 11, 1, print I. If you're gonna print the example in your code, let's just do it here only. Let me correct the value of I here. So output is same here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why it is working up to 10 only, whether we when we have given the value of 11 here? Let's come back to the concept and just understand this. So in our for loop, we have a function range, and in front of this function we have to provide these 3 arguments. The third one is optional. Let's just understand this. The statement introduces a function range. Its syntax is range, start, stop and step. Hope this thing is clear to you now. This one will show you the position from where you have to start your loop, and the stop, it means up to 11 it will work. No, I'm wrong. It will only work from 1 to 11 minus 1. It means whatever the value you are providing at second position, the loop will work from that location, from minus 1 from that location. It means suppose I am starting it from 1 and up to 11. So the loop will work from 1 to 10, not up to the 11. And this last argument only shows the increment or decrement. It means it is given as steps. If you are writing it as 2, so the value will be printed, it will print the value like 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. Let's just see to it. If we will change this one by 2, so what I've told you, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, it means the third argument of range function will show the increment either or decrement. So hope this concept is clear to you all. Here is some theory concept about the for loop and all. So I just want you all to write down these notes what I am providing you with the videos. We will meet in the next video soon with some programming concept and some data types like list and string. So our next topic is string. Thank you.